So once you've performed all this testing, the next question is, how can you access the data? Well, as mentioned, you can definitely access the test results directly in your OONI Probe mobile app. As soon as you run the test, you'll have access to the results. But the results are also automatically sent to us, and we also automatically publish them. Because in your app, you would only have access to your results, but then in the published dataset, you would be able to have access to everybody's test results. And by everybody, I mean everybody who is running OONI Probe all around the world. So we have built this web platform called OONI Explorer, which is what you can see here in the slide, which is designed with human rights defenders in mind. Our goal is to provide a way for you, a somewhat easy way, to interact with the test results, explore them across countries, and gain access to some relevant data visualizations. You can access OONI Explorer by typing explorer.ooni.org in your web browser. OONI Explorer has various country pages, but what I personally find most exciting is the search tool. If you go to the search page of OONI Explorer, you will see, as you can see in the slide here, that you can filter the many different measurements collected from around the world based on many different parameters. Now, because OONI Explorer contains all of the measurements that have ever been collected since 2012, it literally hosts hundreds of millions of network measurements, which can be very overwhelming to go through unless you have a search tool to filter through them. And so through the search tool, you can filter the results depending on the country that you care about, based on the network. In the ASN field, you can type the ASN. ASN is a sort of identifier of the specific network that you're running it in. So for example, if you're running tests on Vodafone Cameroon, then you can type in Google Vodafone Cameroon ASN, and this will give you its ASN number. And then you can just add the ASN number in this ASN field. And then you can also filter the measurements based on the time period that you care about, based on the OONI Probe test, because we have many different types of tests. And also you can filter it based on a specific domain, so a specific website that you care about. At the bottom, the last filter is only applicable to the websites test. The websites test within OONI Explorer is called web connectivity. So you would have to filter it based on web connectivity if you want to find the websites. Below where it says all results confirmed anomalous, those features only apply to web connectivity to the website results. And what we mean by this, in order to explain what we mean by this, we first need to explain some basics of interpreting the data pertaining to the testing of websites. So there are three different types of results you can have when testing websites. The first is that they can be normal. And what we call a normal measurement is when everything is okay, when the tested website is accessible and everything works as expected. In this case, we usually color code it as green. Another case, which is probably the most common case you will come across, is what we call an anomalous measurement. Now, an anomalous measurement is essentially a signal or a sort of a red flag that is saying, uh-oh, something is wrong. This may signify that the specific measurement might contain evidence of blocking. It might be the case that the tested website is blocked. However, the reason why we say might and not for sure is because there are many reasons why a tested website may look like it's blocked, but it's actually not. The very way that networks work means that, for example, something may look like it's blocked, but actually it may be the case that, you know, the network was unreliable, or maybe the server on which the website is hosted was unreliable, or maybe there's so many different reasons why something may look like it's blocked, but it's not. So these cases, in order to determine if it is in fact blocked, that requires looking at the raw measurement data in order to inspect it and determine whether it looks like a true case of blocking or not. And these cases basically require manual data analysis in order to manually determine if it is blocked or not. So these cases we flag as anomalies. Confirmed cases, or rather confirmed blocked, are cases where we automatically confirm the blocking of a website. And based on our current heuristics and methodologies, we only automatically confirm the blocking of a website when a block page is served. A block page is something like this. This is an example of a block page taken from Indonesia. Essentially, what it means is that when you try to access a website, let's assume, for example, that Facebook.com is blocked. If they were to block access by serving a block page, then instead of accessing Facebook.com, you would instead see this. As you can see, this is a very transparent form of censorship because they are very clearly informing you that access is restricted, access is denied, and in fact, they're even informing you of the specific regulation based on which access is blocked. So this is what we refer to a block page. And for block pages are a transparent form of censorship that is implemented in many countries around the world, such as Indonesia, Iran, Italy, Greece, many countries around the world. And so what we do is that when we come across these sorts of cases of censorship, we add the fingerprint of this block page to our database, and then we're able to automatically detect these cases of blocking. But many other countries implement censorship with other techniques, which are much more subtle, and those cases cannot be automatically those cases we cannot currently automatically confirm, or at least not always. So for those cases, we flag them as anomalies, and But on OONI Explorer, the interesting thing is that through the search tool, you can filter the measurements based on anomalies, where you're likely to find many cases of blocking. But you can also filter OONI Explorer based on confirmed, which is confirmed cases of blocking. And in countries which serve block pages and where we're able to automatically confirm blocking, such as Iran, this is very interesting because with a click of a button, by filtering based on confirmed, you're able to quickly and easily gain access to all of the most recently blocked websites based on OONI probe testing in the country, as you can see in the slide. Alternatively, if you would like to gain access to the raw OONI measurement data, you can do so by downloading OONI measurements through the OONI API, which you can access at api.ooni.io. However, we recommend using this mostly for lightweight queries. If you're interested in batch data analysis, in that case, we recommend fetching the data from the OONI data Amazon S3 bucket, or by setting up an OONI probe PostgreSQL MetaDB instance. If in doubt, please feel encouraged to reach out to the OONI team. We're happy to help, and we're happy to work with you on providing access to the data that is relevant to your research and advocacy.